Good morning, everyone. It's good to be with you. And in addition to practicing law here at Davis-Mom, I do serve in the Massachusetts House and want to give you a couple brief updates on what we're doing. Please go to the next slide. Both the House and Senate have passed the Crown Act, which prohibits discrimination based on natural hairstyles. That could be braids, locks, bantu knots, and other formations. And it amends, while this is primarily focused on what has transpired in schools, and that's what sparked the need for it, it does amend our major anti-discrimination law, Chapter 151B. So this would be a protected category, and discrimination in this category would be subject to lawsuits just like disability, gender, and other protected classes. While it's cleared both the House and the Senate, it's not yet law because the House and Senate versions are different. They'll be negotiated and then presumably sent to Governor Baker for his signature. But it's a new protected class, so we just want you to be aware of it. Next slide, please. The next major thing I want to touch on is a ballot question that's looming here. As I'm sure you know, just like we make law through the state legislature, we do have direct ballot questions where voters approve laws. And there's a big one looming this year. Maybe you've seen the ads on television for Uber and Lyft drivers. It's the independent contractor law that is in question. And our independent contractor law in Massachusetts is a robust law and has three major parts. One is that the individual is free from the control and direction of the entity they're working for. So think of Uber and Lyft drivers. They set their own schedule. They don't have to report at a specific time. The second prong is that the service is performed outside the usual course of the business of the employer. And that's the key one, which I'll get to in a minute. And finally, that the individual is customarily engaged in that trade or occupation. So like a worker who drives could work for Uber, can work for both Uber and Lyft. So they're customarily doing this work. Next slide, please. But the key is that second prong, that it's outside the usual work of the employer. And that's the second prong. And it's what is often in question in litigation and in deciding whether a worker is an independent contractor or an employee. And the consequences for misclassification of an employee, calling them an independent contractor when they're really meet the test of employee, is huge. I mean, taxes at both the federal and state level. It could be unpaid overtime, vacation time. So it has huge implications. Next slide, please. So just a couple quick examples. So if a hotel tries to classify the cleaning service that cleans the rooms, and this has happened, as an independent contractor, it's been held that no, because it's not outside the usual course. The hotel tried to say, well, we provide rooms, they provide cleaning. And the judge said, no, you provide clean rooms. And so they are fundamentally part of your business. And so they were improperly classified. Our Attorney General here in Massachusetts is currently suing Uber and Lyft, claiming they're in violation of the independent contractor law. And as a consequence, advocates for these companies are putting forth a ballot question. Next slide, please. So the ballot question, if it reaches the final ballot in November and Massachusetts voters approve it, would classify these drivers, as the app-based drivers, as independent contractors. And it has some minimal provision for benefits for them. While it is confined at this moment to app-based drivers, most analysts, employment lawyers, and others believe that if this wall cracks, and that law is changed, our independent contractor law is changed in that way, it will be the beginning of a flood of changes to the independent contractor law with very big implications for employment law here in Massachusetts. So finally, I'll note that if you have any questions at any time about what is pending in the House or in the legislature, please get in touch and I'm happy to provide information. So thank you very much.